Can I just ask that you, can I just ask you whether you have anything to report to the main session here? You had 3 sessions. Do you have anything to report to us? Were you told that you have to report something to us? Okay? So there was nothing that was raised out of the sessions? Nothing?
From today's session?
Yes.
No. It was just information.
All right. Perhaps you can share that with us tomorrow morning. Right? Have a good night's sleep tonight and we'll think about it tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming in to the last session. So this is the plenary session where we all come together to look at the summary of all the sessions that we've attended. So here with me are my colleagues from the board members, and they have been given the hard job of trying to summarize each of the sessions for the benefit of those people who didn't attend those. We had 5 sessions. Session 1 is how to use the social media. 2 is to create a perfect pitch. 3 is what to know about defamation, and session 4 was speak my language. Session 5 was break the digital disruption and how to make a podcast, and hopefully that session, you know, they've got a podcast here for us to have a look at. And also, of course, session 6 was the last one that we had here, was to do with the grant, and that's from CPF. So we'll just go session by session. So Joe is going to report session 1. Irene, session 2 is Nick. Yeta is going to look at session 3. I will be reporting on session 4. Irene on session 5, and 1 on session number 6. So if while we are reporting that you have any question or anything whatsoever that you would like to raise, so that the board is going to take that on as an action for next year, then please do so. And while we're doing this, you know, if young people have got your mind organized around some issue that you would like to raise, please feel welcome to do so and raise it in this forum. Okay, without further ado, I will ask Joe to talk about how to show a report on the social use of the social media. Joe.
No. The session provided was facilitated by Russell, and the presenters were Stephen Brown, a legal practitioner from Director of Brown Lawyers, and Andrew Andros, who is from 5EDI. The nature of the session was on copyright. There weren't any real outcomes really for the session, other than an explanation of the fact that copyright is regulated by a federal act of parliament, the Copyright Act of 1968, and that copyright lasts for 70 years. So you can't, after 70 years, you can use the material, but within that period, there are copyright laws that are in place, and in order to and the 2 organisations that regulate copyright, APRA AMCOS and PPCA, were the 2 instruments. As I said, there weren't any real outcomes. There was a demonstration by Andrew Andros on what he does at 5EDI in hosting his broadcast session on social media, and that was interesting. But that's about it. It's a very important topic, and people should be aware of what's very popular. That's it for me.
Thank you, Joe. Now, is there anything for those people who were attending that session? Was there anything there in particular that you would like to raise? think I was in that session too. There was a whole lot of questions that were asked about the copyright, and maybe that's going to be another session that we have to plan for next year. It was a very, and perhaps a longer session on that one, because, the 1 hour was not enough. And I also like that, how they talk about the copyright law, but at the same time having a best practice from the different stations, so that they can show us how to, go on to the platform and the different principles, that a good practice still that we need to know about how to produce our content. Good. Is there anything that anybody else would like to raise about that?
Yes.
All right.
It's nothing too important. I just said there were some gender beans which were given out. So those who didn't attend the session didn't get any gender beans.
So would you like to share yours? It's gone already. So you guys were high on sugar too, right? Okay, our second session is creating the perfect pitch. And I would like me to detail and report on that.
This was a very interesting subject. We had 2 members of the NEMBC executive, sorry, 2 members of the NEMBC who gave some information on creating a perfect pitch. One was on branding, and the other one was just about the influence that you as a community radio station have. Information is like the radio is and will always be is a major influence in public opinion, and is the most important tool for micro-marketing your target audience. And be aware of the power that you control. Then we go on to the sponsorship that was done by Joe for EB. And all it was giving you the idea of showing the idea of what we at 4EB do with relation to sponsorship, how we've set up our sponsorship program that helps both the back office and the front end as well. So you as the broadcasters, giving you information like where we sit at 30% of we have 30% of sponsorship at the moment. And it could possibly grow. It is an area where we should look at this opportunity. But the thing is, we have to develop like a sexy package to set targets and provide training for all the groups. Branding, okay, a station is just a station. It's what you have to offer is the value of the proposition, right? Also, we've also mentioned that the new branding for the NEMBC, which will be called the NEMBC Media, and also the NEMBC release of the new Multicultural Media Accreditation Panel Training 2019. And that was fabulous.
Thank you, Nick, for that. And for those people who were in that session, were there anything that you would like to add?
Presentation. That was a presentation for the training for the media. Yeah.
Question here.
Not a question, but just a statement. I think one take-up message should be the capacity for independent broadcasters to create some sort of collective marketing strategy, whether it's through the NEMBC media or other body, irrelevant, but having a collective marketing and a collective purchasing strategy.
Thank you. And I suppose, most of you would have, in your production, you would have promote a little pitch out there for your program. It would be good to sort of look at the sample of the pitch that you have in order to promote your program. So that's a very good thing that you have come up with. Thank you. Okay, session number 3 is Lieta, what to know about defamation and how to be legal while you're producing your program. Lieta.
Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, one of the most important issues that we face in our broadcasting lives is defamation and having to resolve it within your community. And it's something that's also an issue that it can be very time consuming as well. Like we had a case that Mrs. Brown was saying that it took 11 years. So not only that it's costly, but it also very time consuming. So defamation, whether it's slander or libel, it's false statement presented as fact that causes damage to the character or reputation of the person or people that it is about. And so if you, especially these days with our social media, that's very popular these days, mostly among our young people. So we really need to be aware and to be very careful of what you broadcast or rebroadcast, whether you're taking it from YouTube or Twittering or Facebook, rebroadcasting somebody else's statement or comment. You need to be very sure that whatever you're doing, you are not defaming anybody. That so if you publish a false statement, regardless of what mode of media you use, like I said, whether it's Pinterest or YouTube or whatever, you need to be very sure of what you're doing. And of course, you can always refer to some people in your community, check with people that know about defamation if you're not very sure of what you're going to broadcast or rebroadcast. There are defenses as well. If you know that it's true, there's truth in the comments or the statement, then you might have a defense there if it's proven that it's true. But just advising, especially our young people here with our group of youth there, during your broadcast and the contents of your program, just make sure that you are staying further away from defamation. Thank you, Tanya.
Any comment or statement that you would like to make in addition to that, especially those people who attended this session? No? Oh.
Okay, I've also got one as well, because I have our station. Sorry. I've got some information, and that is also about defamation. We've had a couple of cases at our station where, for a number of years, 3 years running, we've had defamation cases, and reached this point where I just have to go to all the conveners and say, "There's enough, guys. No, this is regulations, no there." But also in the defamation cases, just because you mention the person's name, if you don't mention the person's name and it can be associated, identify the person through the communication that you've done as well. So in other words, you have 3 people in it, and out of those 3 people, one person's wearing a yellow jumper, and you say, "Oh, it was that group of people over there, and the person, it wasn't wearing a yellow jumper." So you can identify that person. That's still a case. You can identify the particular person. So again, that could be classified as defamation or slander or whatever.
Thank you. The next one is myself. You know that I was attending the delivering appropriate information, and this was a session that was well attended. 43 people turned up for this particular one, and it's a project. It's called Speak My Language, and it's a project between the ECC, New South Wales, or the Ethnic Communities Council of New South Wales, and NEMBC. And the framework that they have developed is a combination of using the ethnic broadcasters, their community, and to deliver information. And I think it was really powerful and empowering for especially for not so much for the emerging communities, because their communities are still young and not really in that age group of 70, 80 to 90. But there was a whole lot of information that they deliver through language, and also learning in their community the different people who are experts, and also then that's something is starting very, fun. So what this project has enabled the radio broadcasters to understand more about or find out more information about their community, and in terms of aged care and how aged care information is being delivered to their community itself. So right now it's been a whole lot of people have been trained. So the questions they're going to be asking the community, there's a memo, there's a whole process of training, and they've done this through this framework. So you have to be trained of what are the sort of questions that you're going to be asking, and the culturally appropriate questions that you're going to be asking, especially if you're a young broadcaster asking age pensioners, about things that is happening at home and what are the sort of issues that are facing, or perhaps the lack of information or some sort of information that they need to know more about. In the report itself, we have a broadcaster from the 377 from the Spanish community, Macedonian community, and also from the Filipino community of Townsville. So at the end of it all, all the broadcasters were invited. There are probably another 47 language groups that they need broadcasters, to be to volunteer for this program itself. Now, after the session itself, there were a whole lot of interest in coming in to do the training so that they can go out and do the conversation and perhaps conduct conversation with their own community, and also getting to know who is an expert in their community that can speak the language, especially in dealing with issues like dementia, elder abuse, and all of those, because they are very sensitive issues, but you've got to be trained how to do this, how to conduct the interview itself and talk to those people. So that was a really good session, and of course there would be a lot more projects that we're going to be doing with the NEMBC in New South Wales, because we want to sort of look at the framework itself and extending it to other areas. Things like youth suicide, alcoholism, all of those other things, that we need to get information, relevant information out to different communities. So the coordinator of Speak My Language is Terry Lewis, and the reason why we have this particular project was because 2 years ago we invited her to come and talk about aged care, and as a result of that, we've got this project. So it's good to sort of see that there are things that are growing from this particular forum. So for those people who were in that particular session, were there anything else that I missed out? No? Okay. Let's move on to the fifth session, breaking the digital disruption and making a podcast.
That was me, and it was one of my favourite sessions because I always love the hands-on session. And so this was with our wonderful CFO, CEO and trainer, with Giordana and Emma Coach. So first off, they were telling us the difference between audio on demand and a podcast. And what a podcast is that it's the art of oral storytelling, quite different from what we do on our normal programs. And they've also explained the legals about what you can and what you can't have on a podcast, whereas you can't go live streaming your program. You can't just take your live stream off and put it up as a podcast because there's certain legalities with regards to copyright or music and so forth. And then they showed us how to make it, or gave us what we need to really make a podcast, which was similar to your directions for making a program, but you need to have first the concept for the storyline, the gear or the equipment that you need for it, whether it be a digital recorder or using Skype or whatever. The fact that you need to do scripting, what sort of scripting would it be? Would it be writing a script or doing audio and then transcribing that and making a paper script to start with? Sound effects, what you would need to, and how to go about making sound effects, where you can get them from AMRAP in different places, and editing, and the whole hands-on session was on editing with Hindenburg, which is new to some of us and not to some others. For me, it was new. I'd seen it from a distance, but the first time I had a chance to look at it close up. And then, of course, sharing and how you go, where you can share it on SoundCloud or Wishka. And they also gave us some tips on transcribing and what else? Oh, and to use a call recorder. And so then the rest of the program was all on hands-on. They did give us a few hints on where to find what websites to look for, and Google Docs for voice to text to help you with not writing everything down. You've got something that will do it for you. So all in all, it was a very popular session, and I'm hoping that maybe we can do it again next year, and maybe make it a longer session next year, so we can split it, because I think more people would have liked to have done that hands-on.
Thank you, Irene. Can you give a hand to Irene, please? Was there anything that you would like to comment on in that session for those people who attended that particular one? Speak now, please. Okay, the last one is always interesting to have the CPF in the session, because it's so unexpected, what it is that's going to come out in that session as an outcome. But I think that, it's great to sort of, the more that we talk to CPF, the more that we understand the process and the system that is being in place in order for us to apply for grants. So one was the person then hot seat while the CPF was delivering their session. So can I get some summary from you? Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. And I must admit, this is only my second NEMBC conference, and it was a very informative session. It's always fun to talk about money. And principally, it seemed to come across as a resource allocation issue, in the sense that you've only got a finite amount of resources, try to fulfill an unlimited amount of demand. And it was interesting hearing the different questions around the floor and getting a glimpse how different stations operated, because it was just about as diverse as our ethnicities around the floor. And it was almost like a one-on-one question with the CBF, because the model for one station in regional New South Wales would be completely different to a metropolitan station in Brisbane. So there was no single issue that would apply to everyone principally. I guess the only thing that had everyone in common was that they have to report to the CBF for money. So I thought it was quite fitting that our opening ceremony was at the Mint, and we finished at the CBF.
Okay, thank you. Any comments, that anybody would like to add?
Yeah, but it was a great session. I think CBF might have felt they came under attack from some of us for a while there. We may not have given them the opportunity to chat to us about what's really important, I guess, and that's how to write a good grant. We probably did give them that opportunity. I will apologise for that. CBF, and I'm sure we all agree, we can't do without CBF. There's absolutely no doubt about that. We're very, very grateful. They do wonderful work, and I'm a little bit disappointed with myself that perhaps we didn't allow them more time to let us know how it is that we can do better to ensure.
I found that, like I was saying before, the more questions that we ask CBF, the more we understand, and especially with this application writing is quite a complex task. And but we grow and we learn, but this is our second year, and we just have to accept that this is the system now. I know we have, but now I think we all need to understand it now and take it that yes, it is a different system and we need to understand it more. So we just keep firing questions off just CBF, and I'm pretty sure they'll be able to answer them.
Thank you for that. Is that working now?
No.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And I think Ian has been with NEMBC for a long time, and has been tolerant of our questions and things like that. But with any system, any new system whatsoever, there is teething problems. No, that's one. Yeah. With any new system, we've got to learn the system itself. We've got to test it out. We've got to see whether there are things there that we need to improve. And this is what ethnic broadcasting is all about, Because we are passionate about the work that we're doing, we wanted to put a question everything in there. And I think, Ian, I think you have been resilient. Where's Barbara? Barbara, Barbara ran away. And Dean, where's Dean? Dean ran away. No, Dean is there. So it's been really good, that you come in here, sometimes it's a very hostile environment, but it's to do with the fact that we are really passionate about what we do. We want to safeguard a little bit of money that we've got, and because we are volunteers, every bit of money counts. So, thank you for your resilience, and I think it's, emotions. We had a roller coaster for emotion itself, that people are calming down and looking at the logic of it, and there's another system that we have to learn. So, well done for CBF. Hopefully, it's going to continue giving us more money.
Yeah.
So, thank you for that. Now, apparently, Russell was saying that the youth will have to do some reporting as well. Youth, yes, 1, 2, and 3. Can I have the 3 people here, please, as soon as possible? Thank you. And while they are coming, can you... And also, can I just give you something to do with your time creatively? Can you fill in this questionnaire? It's in your form, it's in your program. So while you're listening to the youth, please put 0 and then over to Russell. Okay. Now, who is facilitating you? Can you just report on what it is that we're doing? Okay.
Okay, so the youth session number 1, we also were very lucky to get a Plenary. It's fun food from Hobo FM down in Tasmania. I'm also the youth representative. So the youth session number 1, we were also very lucky to get a session with Jordana and Emma. Slightly different focus. They were telling us about all things free apps, things such as how do we put a good promotion material together, have examples on our chairs, also how to put, how do you say use your phone to record good audio, with things such as mics that you can get and just plug straight into your phone. And also we got they showed us some examples of clips that they put together with apps such as Headliner, which has audio transcription. Yeah, that was about it, but it was very handy, especially if we are to progress from a more analog way to a digital way of doing audio and video sharing.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is May. I'm from Brisbane Point View radio station, and the second session's in the youth. It's about pathway, employment pathway. We have we have Andrew O'Connor from ABC News, and also Jordana from CNTO, and also the youngest Senator Jordan. The session was really inspiring because firstly, Jordan shared her information and shared his story, and we feel really inspired. And then second, we have Andrew, and Andrew talked about the pathway between how do you get into ABC through different conditions, which is really good because among us, we learned about different kind of pathways, and those, some of us are really interested, and even we talked to Andrew at the end, so which is really good. And at the end, Jordana was talking about how we can get information from CNTO, different trainings, which is really informational. Yeah, we enjoy it very much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Angar. I'm from Darwin at the CNT. So I'm just going to tell you quickly about the third session where we actually learned about how to effectively network among youth and all that. And we learned that first impression is the most important thing to remember, like how you introduce yourself, how's your body language, your facial expression, and all that. So we also learned that there's one quote that I kept on thinking is that always listen with your ears, however, hear with your heart. And I know that's a bit catchy, but that's actually really true. Always understand who you network to build a great relationship. So yeah, that's what we learned about.
Are there any questions that anybody would like to raise very quickly for the young people?
Or something to that.
Or something to that? The young people in the bed? Is there anything that they missed that you would like to raise? Okay, that's good. Can you keep your hand, please? We've got 5 more minutes. If there, I would like to ask Luigi to come and see your notes and see what it is that we action that we're going to take from here to the next conference. Is there anything?
There was just the possibility of next year having another session to do with podcasts. So for those who didn't hear that, there was a recommendation to consider next year possibly having another session on how to make a podcast, perhaps making it longer than the 1 hour. And also, there was a suggestion with regard to all things legal to do with defamation, and potentially also with copyright, having the session and again, having a little bit more time so that people can discuss in more detail how they can put the programs together and make them appropriate from a legal perspective. Thanks, Tina.
Thank you very much, and I think it has been a really successful conference in terms of all the things that we have learned, the new things that we have learned today. So I'd like to thank all the presenters. So can we please show our appreciation. And also 6EBA, for doing a fantastic job, so far. All of the presents and the presenters, minus myself, God was from 6EBA. I'm just hinting him because I need one of those models to take home. Okay, but all of the presents and everything like that, is provided by 6EBA, so that's fantastic on behalf of the NEMBC. So Barbara is here, but it's also Barbara's last conference with the NEMBC, and I would like you to show your appreciation of the work that she's done.